of you already know me. I'm Mike Reed, founder and president of Chat. I'm here today to talk to you about the reptile industry, some of the things that are going on, explain why we're here. To start with, the reptile industry is a billion-dollar industry at this point. It's estimated that there's $1.4 billion raised nationally in reptiles, and $28.4 million just here in Tennessee. That's the sale of the animals, the sale of the supplies, the tanks, the bedding, the feeders, the jobs created at the companies that make the supplies, everything together. That adds up pretty quick. Shows like this, Repticon and all of those, bring money into the community. Not only are they paying to rent this area and people coming through here raising money, but all these people have to eat and sleep somewhere. They're going to the restaurants and the hotels, and that's income generated by reptiles. Right now there's a lot of issues going on in the reptile industry. On the national level we have the Lacey Act. The Lacey Act was originally started in 1900. It was aimed more at invasive plants and controlling those. Since that time it's been expanded to include animals, invasive animals, dangerous animals. And in 2012 they added 4 of the large constrictors. The Burmese python, the North and South African rock pythons, and the yellow anaconda. It's now illegal to transport any of these species across the state line. Luckily, we have the organization USARC, the United States Association of Reptile Keepers. They've currently got a lawsuit fighting the Lacey Act bans. And right now they're in the process of, they filed the United States Fish and Wildlife have answered, and USARC has amended their filing and filed again. And we're waiting on Wildlife to file their answer again. And they're really hoping they can get the ban overturned because there's no need of it. We all know, yes, the Burmese pythons are important. But if you listen to the media, it's people like me and you that keep these animals and they get too big and we take and release them. That's the story they're telling. That's not the way the animals established in the animals. Yes, there have been a few that pet owners have released. But it's actually been genetically proven that the biggest part of them came from 1 or 2 facilities that got hit during Hurricane Andrew in 1992. And just, it leveled the facility, sent the snakes for miles. And that released enough at one point in one location they were able to establish and start breeding. But that happened in 1992, and here we are 2014, the snakes are still in the Everglades. They physically cannot expand outside of the Everglades. They will never be a problem anywhere except Central Florida, Southern Florida, I'm sorry. And for that fact alone, I feel like the Lacey Act is just completely unnecessary legislation. Well, like I said, we have USARC fighting that battle for us. But at the same time, we have multiple states trying to enact different types of bans state to state. Ohio recently passed laws to make you can still legally keep a large constrictor, but they just made it so restrictive to do so that the average person can't. for the permit, and then when you buy that permit, you say that anytime they see fit, they can come in and basically search your house. You give up the right to say no, you can't come in. When you go to get the permit, you have to have the vet documentation that yes, you've taken these snakes to the vet, they are healthy. That's an additional cost. You have to carry liability insurance to have them. It's like $100,000 for the first animal, $150,000 for 2 through 5 animals, and then it jumps to $250,000 for up to 15. They've established ridiculous enclosure standards. To keep a Burmese python in the state of Ohio, you have to have 8 by 10 foot concrete reinforced enclosure. Basically what a zoo would have to have. They want you, as a private owner, to have to keep your snake. Louisiana is working to amend their law. Right now, you can legally keep anything over like 6 feet, but you have to have a permit. They're wanting to make it illegal to own anything over 6 feet. They want to make it illegal to own bandits. No permits will be issued. New York is wanting to change it from a misdemeanor to a felony to keep any python, monitor, or anaconda. They consider them dangerous, and it would be a felony to own them. South Carolina's wanting to ban the entire croc family, all boydite, which is your boas, your anacondas, and your pythons, and all bandits again. West Virginia has set up a commission to ban Herp, the Dangerous Wildlife Commission, which will, at a later date, decide what animals need to be on their list. It's no longer in the public's hands. This commission they have set up will decide what animals and what standards. Again, they could easily say a ball python is dangerous. You want it on the list because it's all up to them. Wisconsin again is seeking to ban all crocodile. That would be your crocodiles, your alligators, your canids. One bright note, Illinois has passed what most people see as a herp-friendly legislation. It has set up herps in their own category where they will have their own rules applying to herps rather than just an exotic animal. And when it first came out, there was some concern that the wording on hurdles and tortoises was very restrictive and it would put that industry out in Illinois. And they were able to work. The herp societies in Illinois, some other individuals were able to work with their fish and wildlife and have had that amended to where the turtle keepers are more satisfied. And that is actually passed now and it is a law. So at least one state is becoming more herp-friendly than the rest are not. On top of the state laws, you have localities, different cities, making crazy laws. We all know you need a permit to own over 6 feet inside Knoxville city limits. North Myrtle Beach, North Carolina, North or South Carolina. They've passed a law now completely banning all reptiles in the city.
South Carolina.
That's North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I can't remember if it's north or south. I know it's right there on the state line.
Yeah, Libby has a cousin that lives out there. He is pissed at it.
And that law was passed. They told the public they were meeting on some parking issue or something. And oh, while we're here, let's pass this reptile. Nobody knew it was coming, so they never had a chance to buy it. Where you circus fighting on the national level, they can't meet in all these different states and all these different cities to fight these dogs. That's where Chet's coming. Because from people we've talked to in other states that have defeated anti-reptile laws, the best way to fight them is to have it already established in-state, have a strong Herp community with good standards to where we can go to national and say, this is what's required, not what you're saying. And have the evidence and the knowledge to back that up. That's our best chance to keep anything like that from happening. It comes down to a lot of self-policing. So that's the idea behind why I started the coalition and some of the goals we set. The Coalition of Herp Enthusiasts in Tennessee has set the goal of education. We want to show the public that this isn't a monster. This isn't coming in your home to eat your children. This won't hunt you down to kill you. This is just as good viable a pet as a dog or a cat. For me, it's a better pet. They're quieter, less messy. They all have their own personalities. Some of them are more hateful than others. Some of them just love to be held. Maybe not love to be held, but don't mind being held. So we want to reach the public and show them and get them used to seeing these as pets and not something that needs a shovel or an axe to it. We want to try and set up some basic standards within the Herp community to where people are keeping them right, keeping them healthy, and just basic husbandry standards to where hopefully one day we won't need pet rescues for snakes and lizards. And by taking these steps, we'll be putting ourselves in a better position to eventually go to Nashville and resist any new laws, and we would love to one day change some of the laws that are already on the books. We might possibly one day accomplish getting it to where we can keep turtles and make it maybe a little less restrictive on the native species. Because right now, if you want to keep anything native, it's $25 per animal, which isn't bad. But if you want to breed them, it's $250 a year permit to breed. If you've got one pair of corn snakes, you're not going to cover $250 a year. And you're not going to go out in the wild and find a snub or a creamsicle or any of the morphs. And Tennessee doesn't recognize subspecies. To them, a California king is a king snake. You're not going to find a California king in the wild in Tennessee, but in Tennessee's eyes, it's still a king snake, and king snakes are indigenous. We would like to work at easing restrictions such as this. Right now, start. We've got knowledgeable people working with us. We just need to support anybody owning even one snake, one lizard, that wants to be able to keep the right to keep those animals in the future. We'll work together. Come help us do these shows like we've been doing. We're hoping in the future to get set up with a 501c to where we can actually ask for donations. We're not to that point right now. So anything we take now would just be a gift. It would be tax deductible donation because we're not to that point. We've actually been in contact with the Georgia Reptile Society. They've been around 3 years now and are just now working on their 501c. So it's going to be a long, drawn-out process, but we are taking the right steps and trying to show the world that we're not those crazy snakes. Thank you all for coming. Hopefully we'll get a chance to know y'all a little better.